Mitch McConnell just got hit from inside his own house. Not by Democrats, and not politely either. We're talking go-to-a-nursing-home level attacks. All because he's blocking a bill backed by Donald Trump. For months now, Republicans have been pushing a voting bill, one that would require specific forms of ID and create new federal standards around elections. Supporters say it protects election integrity. Critics say it creates barriers. But here's the twist. The biggest obstacle right now isn't a Democrat. It's Senator Mitch McConnell. Yes, that Mitch McConnell. The longtime Republican leader, the architect of the modern conservative judiciary, the man who helped reshape the Supreme Court. And now, he's accused of single-handedly stalling Trump's agenda. Republican Congressman Ralph Norman, who's also running for governor of South Carolina, didn't hold back. He went on television and unloaded.
All I'm reading is that McConnell is the one holding up the works here. Why would Mitch McConnell, who in the past promoted voter ID measures, be against this?
Well, two things. He hates Donald Trump. Trump syndrome is alive and well with him. Secondly, he should be in a nursing home. He shouldn't be in the United States Congress casting votes. And thirdly, he exercises power, and I think he's beholden to the special interest, and this is politics gone wrong, and this is where term limits has to be in effect to get these people out. And from what I understand, they have a hard time getting to the floor to vote. I mean, it's kind of basic being able to get to the floor and vote, whether it's wheelchair or not, but mentally, I don't think he's there.
Not subtle. That's not coded language. That's a sitting Republican congressman saying a senior Republican senator belongs in a nursing home. And why? Because McConnell is allegedly holding up the works. Specifically, he's refusing to schedule a vote. As head of the Senate Rules Committee, McConnell controls whether this legislation even reaches the floor. And right now, it's not moving. Norman claims McConnell is blocking a talking filibuster reform and stalling the voting bill itself. But here's the important part. McConnell isn't blocking it because he suddenly became a champion of voting rights. He has his own reasons. Last year, McConnell wrote in the Wall Street Journal that sweeping federal election mandates could pave the way for a future Democratic president to take over election administration nationwide. In other words, his concern isn't stopping voter ID, it's preventing Democrats from using similar tools later. It's strategic, it's cautious, it's very Mitch McConnell. But in today's Republican Party, strategic caution can look like betrayal, especially when Donald Trump wants action. And make no mistake, Trump has pushed hard for stricter federal election laws. So when McConnell slows the train, it's seen as defiance. And in MAGA politics, defiance has consequences. Another Republican, Representative Tim Burchett, piled on. Notice what's happening here. This isn't just policy disagreement. This is questioning mental fitness. This is the same language Republicans used for years against President Biden, now being aimed at their own senator. And it's striking because concerns about McConnell's health aren't new. There have been public moments, mid-sentence pauses, freeze-ups at podiums, the now viral instances where he stopped speaking during press conferences. But here's the thing, when those moments happened before, Republicans defended him. They dismissed criticism as media exaggeration. Now, those same moments are being weaponized because he's in the way. That shift tells you everything. This isn't really about health, it's about loyalty. Ralph Norman didn't suddenly become concerned about geriatric governance. He's concerned that McConnell isn't delivering for Trump. He even said it plainly. Trump syndrome is alive and well. Translation? McConnell doesn't like Trump enough. And that's the real offense. Because in today's GOP, policy disagreements are secondary. Alignment with Trump is primary. McConnell has had a complicated relationship with Donald Trump. He worked with him. He confirmed his judges. He protected him during impeachment battles. But he also criticized him after January 6th. He refused to fully embrace election fraud claims. And now, he's slowing down a voting bill tied closely to Trump's priorities. That's enough. The knives come out. But here's the irony. For years, Democrats have criticized McConnell as a ruthless power player, a master obstructionist, a legislative tactician who bends procedure to his will. Now Republicans are accusing him of obstruction too. The difference? This time, he's obstructing them. It's a strange political moment when Mitch McConnell, the face of hardball Republican politics, is painted as the obstacle to Republican power. And it reveals something deeper. The center of gravity in the GOP has shifted. It's not about institutional Republicans anymore. It's not about seniority or committee control. It's about alignment with Trump. If you're aligned, you're protected. If you hesitate, you're suspect. And if you block something he wants, you might get told to retire to a nursing home. Now let's be clear about something. Age in Congress is a bipartisan issue. There are elderly Democrats. There are elderly Republicans. And voters have legitimate questions about whether lawmakers experiencing visible cognitive issues should continue serving. But that conversation becomes unserious when it only surfaces selectively, when it's not about consistent standards, when it's about punishing dissent. Because if health was the true concern, the calls for McConnell to step down would have happened long before he blocked this bill. Instead, the timing is convenient. He stalls Trump's priority. Suddenly he's mentally unfit. That's not principle, that's leverage. And it shows how unstable internal party politics have become. McConnell is retiring in less than a year. He's not running again. He's not seeking higher office. In theory, he has little to lose, which might explain why he's willing to slow things down. He's thinking long-term, about institutional power, about precedent, about what happens if Democrats regain control. But many in his party aren't thinking long-term. They're thinking about the next election, the next headline, the next Trump endorsement. And that's the tension. Old guard institutional conservatism versus populist, Trump-driven urgency. This clash was inevitable, and now it's public. So what happens next? If McConnell continues to stall, pressure will increase. More public criticism, more media hits, more suggestions that he step aside early. But here's the reality. McConnell still holds procedural power. He still controls the committee schedule. He still understands Senate rules better than almost anyone alive. And he's not known for folding under pressure. For decades, he's been the one applying pressure. Now he's the one absorbing it. And that reversal is what makes this moment so dramatic, because it signals that no one, not even Mitch McConnell, is immune from MAGA enforcement. If you don't deliver for Trump's agenda, you can be replaced, or at least publicly humiliated. And that's the story here. Not just a stalled bill, not just an aging senator, but a party reshaping itself in real time, testing the limits of loyalty, redefining who counts as with us, and reminding every Republican in Washington, alignment isn't optional, it's mandatory. Mitch McConnell built the modern Republican Senate. Now his own party is questioning whether he belongs in it. Politics is ruthless, but internal party politics? That's a different level entirely. And this fight isn't over. Because if the bill stays blocked, this won't be the last time you hear Republicans attacking one of their own. The real question is, will McConnell bend? Or will he remind them why he held power for so long in the first place? Either way, the Republican Civil War is no longer quiet. It's out in the open, and it's getting louder.